What's up, guys? This is the Red76, and today I'm going to be giving my opinion on the Nintendo 2DS. Now, the Nintendo 2DS is $129, a whole $50 cheaper than the 3DS, and personally, when I first saw this whole video, which I'll leave a link in the description, when I saw the video showcasing or, advertising this whole 2DS, I thought it was either A, a joke, or B, a stupid idea. And after thinking about it for a while, I realized why Nintendo did this, and I actually do think it's a good idea. So, hence the name, the Nintendo 2DS obviously doesn't support 3D, which in my opinion, I don't really care that much about. I don't like the whole idea of 3D, I was never really a big fan of it. People didn't care about it in the 80s, people don't care about it now. After 6 months of the 3DS being out, people realized that it wasn't as big as people thought it would be, and I knew that from the start. I knew people wouldn't think 3D was the future, because it simply isn't. People don't care about looking into the screen and seeing it right in front of them. I don't know. I was never a fan of it, and I guess people aren't now. So, for it to be $50 cheaper, that's more enticing, because while I don't like the whole 3D feature of the 3DS, or frankly I just don't care about it, I do like the games. I really want to play Ocarina of Time, at least on the DS, because it's not for DS Lite, so I might actually buy 2DS just to play that game, and also Super Smash Bros. Brawl, not Brawl, but Super Smash Bros. The new one that's coming out for the Wii U is also coming out for 3DS, and I'm assuming 2DS because 2DS supports all 3DS games, so I could probably play Super Smash Bros. The new one on my 2DS, and for $129, that's really not that expensive. $129 for a console is actually really reasonable, because if I was to buy a Vita, it'd be something like $250, $299. 3DS, again, not as pricey, but still $170, almost $200. While this is closer to $100, which, while it's still a lot for a game or something, for a console it's pretty cheap. PS4, $400, Xbox One, $500. So for a portable game console, that's pretty freaking good. I never cared about 3D, so if I was to save $50 and not have the feature that I would never use anyways, I'm pretty happy. 3D strains my eyes, it strains the little kids' eyes, which is good for the moms that don't want their kids hurting their eyes, and it kills battery life, twice as fast as if it weren't enabled. One more thing that Nintendo did that I don't know if I completely agree with it, but I can see why they did it. They got rid of the clamshell feature. So for those of you that don't know what it is, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's where the Nintendo DS opens and folds. I had a DS Lite as a kid, and I can see why they did this, because after having my DS for about a year, the open and fold feature was kind of useless, because it wouldn't stay in place. Like if I was to close my DS and then I was to flip it over, it would just fall back open. So the clamshell feature, while it did make things more convenient, it kind of made the thing feel cheaply made, even though it wasn't. And I can see this. It happened with it happened with every DS, really. It happened with DS Original, DS Lite, DSi, 3DS. Even people who take good care of it, when they open it and close it a lot, if they do that repeatedly, it's going to corrode away the quality of the 3DS or whichever DS you even own, and you can't do anything about it. It just, after use and use and use, time after time, it's eventually going to corrode away until there's pretty much nothing left holding it open or closed. So that was kind of annoying, so I see why they got rid of that, especially with little kids, because little kids, they don't really care for their stuff as much as someone like I would, where I'm 14, so I obviously wouldn't go throwing around my DS knowing that it's an expensive piece of hardware. That's really what it is, even though it's cheaper, I wouldn't want to waste $120 if I didn't have to, so for that to save the whole buying another one, I think that's a good idea. Now, what I think would be the best of both worlds was really if they had two versions of the 2DS, one that did have the clamshell feature and one that didn't, just for people that are older. Now, I know the 2DS is targeted at a lower age group than the 3DS, or, it's targeted at a pretty low age group from ages, I think this is something like 3 to 6, 2 to 6, something like that. However, for people that want to just save money, it can be really any age group. I know adults that play Nintendo games. I don't judge them. I know a lot of people that like Nintendo. I personally like Nintendo myself. I haven't been following them as much with the Wii U and stuff, just because I'm not as into that. But I still like Nintendo, and I can see why they did this, and now I'm enticed to actually buy a 2DS. I think I might. I really want to play Ocarina of Time on the 3DS, even though it's been out for a while. I can't get it on my DSi, my DS Lite, I'm sorry, because it simply isn't supported. Same with the new Smash Bros. That's only coming out for 3DS and Wii U, and I sure as hell am not going to buy a Wii U at this point, because there are almost no games for it, which I made another video about that. But yeah, you tell me what you think. Do you like the whole idea of the 2DS? I actually do. I wish that there was a feature where there was a clamshell, so I didn't feel like I was a little kid holding one of the Leapfrog games, but whatever. I think I still might buy one just for the games themselves. The games are pretty good quality, especially, pretty optimized for the whole controller having only one analog stick. I think they did a good job with what they had, and for it to be priced $120, you really can't go wrong. Anyways, that's my opinion on the whole 2DS thing. I know I'm getting a lot of hate for this video because a lot of people hate the idea of a 2DS because people are saying, oh, well, you know, it's a downgrade from a system that came out 2 years ago. The hardware is already outdated because it's been out for 2 years, but you're really going to downgrade it after that? I understand what people are saying when they say that, and I've given my opinion on it. So anyways, I want to know what you think. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you on my next video.